What's up, everybody? Back again to talk about Obesity Disease Part 2. I said I was going to talk about it, so let's talk about it. Now, in the first video, I obviously talked about how I don't agree with obesity being considered a disease because it ultimately is a choice. And per some discussions that were stemmed from that video, it seems like, some people agree, some people don't, of course. That's always going to happen. But, things like drug addiction are also considered a disease. And obesity, I guess, is a result of, food addiction and all that. That's still hard for me to agree with, as far as classifying it as such. I mean, according to the definition, yes, that's true to the definition of what a disease is, but I don't feel it should be placed in the same category as some other disease, like some viral disease you might get that you have no control over, because these things you have control over. You have control over taking drugs, you have control over eating food. Anyways, enough on that. So I have a coworker at work who will remain nameless, who's been on a journey to get more fit after being diagnosed with diabetes due to poor food choices over the years. It happens to people. But she let it not be an excuse and is up exercising, lost 55 plus pounds, I think 58 to 62 pounds or something like that in just the course of a couple months, from maintaining, a good eating regimen, and staying on track with things. And ultimately, I feel like it's going to reverse some of the symptoms that she has. That being said, it's also a choice to get fit again. So, on, I guess, a more inspirational side of things, you always have a choice to do something different than you did, yesterday. You always have a choice to eat this food over that food. You always have a choice to wake up 30 minutes earlier to go do a 20-minute walk or something. You always have those choices. It's just you don't want to make those choices. We all have, a choice to do things. For myself, the past year, up until maybe a couple months ago, I was working at a job that I didn't necessarily like. Some of you who know me very well know that. I couldn't stand going to work every day. I hated waking up every morning. I would hardly sleep because I was so stressed out. It was a bad situation. After a year of dealing with it, and I didn't work out for that whole year, partly because of the stress of work, but also partly because, me and my fiance have opposite schedules, but that was still an excuse for me. And I went from around 220 pounds all the way up to close to 260 in that year, not even working out, not doing nothing. So it's a choice. I chose to leave that job and get a better job. I chose to change the way that I was going about things and figured out a way to go back to the gym during my lunch break, even if it's only 40 minutes. I chose that. And now coming up now, I'm choosing to take that thing a step further by opting to take a different approach from what I used to take before. And you'll see in the weeks coming the changes that take place. But regardless of everything probably sounding negative as far as, obesity being a disease is an excuse for being lazy and whatnot, let's look at it as you have a choice to make that change. And a lot of times people don't know what step to take. A couple steps you can take. Start walking 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. That's very simple. even though I don't always agree with it, get a personal trainer at the gym, someone who can motivate you, or a friend that's been doing it for a while, someone that can motivate you. Start researching food and health and nutrition, but don't take the advice of everybody in the world. Kind of keep an open mind and learn as much as possible and apply what works for your life. If you can't do 7 meals, 8 meals a day every 2 hours or whatever, you don't have to do that. You can just make portion controls and change how many carbs you eat, or change, how many days you eat bad food. Try a challenge like a 30-day. For 30 days, I'm going to eat all clean food. You know what I mean? Or for even 5 days or 6 days, I'm going to eat all clean food. And day 7, I'm going to eat food, bad food, whatever, and I'm going to feel like crap. And then that'll set me up for the next 6 days. So there's different ways you can do things. That's part of the point why I'm doing this now, is to kind of spread a little bit of my experience over the last 11 or coming up on 12 years here of doing all different kinds of diet programs and keeping an open mind to things. So push along. You can do it. You can get those 50 pounds off. You can get those 20 pounds off. You can get that 5 pounds off. You can get that 200 pounds off. It's just about literally taking the first step. So if you like the video, like it, share it with your friends, please. Let's spread the word. Thanks.